This is the only episode of Lunch Break in which I know going into it I'm going to have to cheat, and hopefully this is going to be the only one I do this in. Now I'm pretty much going to spend the rest of the episode explaining why. I know that normally when I do these things I'm sitting out in the back of the Jeep and the whole explanation is you're hungry at the field and you're brown bagging it, but this is going to be a very special episode. The reason is a lot of people who are going to be going to Ion and D-Day and other reenactment style events of World War II stuff, and a lot of people say, oh wow, this is as close as I can ever get to that. Not necessarily, because a lot of you guys are bringing a lot of modern conveniences with you. For example, let's point at MREs over here. When you think MREs, this is probably what you're thinking right here, the old brown bagging it kind of thing. And these are good, don't get me wrong, but this is also a very modern idea. What I'm going to be showing you guys today is something that's way different here. And this is going to give you kind of an appreciation for what a lot of these guys went through. And it's specifically these things right here. Both of these came from a company called Repro Rations. I'll have links down below to them. Now, Repro Rations is a company that's owned by veterans, and what they do is they make reproductions of World War II and some World War I rations. And these are about as correct as they can get. Now, what they do is they basically repackage modern materials, so these are edible. These are ready to go right now. So this is going to be one part unboxing and one part watching me suffer and eat through these things, so this should be interesting. These are reproductions of the old Army C-rations, as in the letter C, not as in, yeah. Now, there's going to be a difference. You're going to have K-rations and C-rations. To really oversimplify things, K-rations are boxes, C-rations are cans. Way oversimplifying things, just kind of roll with it because I don't want to get into the whole thing, it gives me headaches. And actually this one over here is what they call dinner, which we now call lunch, essentially. Now the big thing I'm going to point out here, this is the M unit. Now M stands, in this case, stands for meat. There were several different types of M units that they could get. This one is a reproduction of the ham chunks. From what I found, what they had actually was ham and lima beans, I want to say. But again, they're using modern materials, so we'll get to this one in just a second. And the other thing, this package right here, this is the partial dinner unit. This is actually what you need in order to get into that. And I should kind of point this one out too, since I'm thinking of it. On the back of the box they have a nice big malaria warning. One thing about a lot of World War II stuff, they had warnings on everything, and I'll get to that when I start opening up this box. This is a sealed box, so here we go. This ought to be fun. Okay, so let's go over everything that's inside of here. First of all, everything is all packaged up nice and compact. First thing I'm actually going to grab right away is this right off the side over here, because this is going to be actually the first thing that I'm going to be delving into. Reproduction coffee. I like the 40s style packaging on this. It's really nice. Now it says you're supposed to dissolve the contents in a 1/4 canteen cup, 6 ounces of hot or cold water, stir well, add sugar if desired. I know there's sugar in there, and I'm probably going to be relying very heavily on it. Oh, okay, I see what they did. I see how this works. Okay, so you have the outer sleeve, which is the reproduction sleeve, and then you have the inner sleeve, which is more the modern standards, which is cool actually. And I'm pouring this behind the blast shield over here, guys, because I am so not taking my chances with this. Ugh. I'm not much of a coffee drinker. I'm not. But it's that was a very couple quick sips, and it's instant coffee. What can I say? All right, so let me take a quick look at the rest of the cellophane pack over here. And I've got some water that's starting to boil over here, so that's why I wanted to dig some of this stuff out. I'm going to show you guys this, the bouillon powder, right here. Standard inside the dinner packs. And again, this is the retro style packaging from the 1940s, so very bland, very basic, which was kind of what they were doing. I was actually kind of expecting a bouillon cube. I really was, but they gave me something that can actually dissolve in water. Now I'm putting the bouillon. I've got some more water that's starting to boil over here, so I'm putting the bouillon powder in this. All will be explained as soon as I get to this thing right over here. While that's still going, I'll show you the rest of what's inside the dinner accessory pack over here. And some of this stuff might surprise you. Got some crackers over here. Now what you would get is you would get an M unit and you get what's called a B unit or a bread unit. And that's kind of what this is right over here. You get one stick of gum. And yes, this is correct for World War II, guys. World War II, they actually gave these guys gum inside their thing. They also gave cigarettes in a lot of these packets too. This one doesn't have the cigarettes in it. You can actually buy one that they make one that has the cigarette box, but they don't sell tobacco, so you gotta fill it yourself, guys. Period correct candy. Some Charms candy. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, here's what I was looking for. The sugar box. Now I can drink the coffee. And the last two items, and a lot of guys who are familiar with MREs are going to chuckle when you see this. Book of matches. But this is not just any old book of matches. This is a reproduction of what they were actually giving the guys out in World War II. Yep. Warnings about venereal disease on these things. Easy to pick up. Way here on the bottom. Don't get burned. Use cover. Good advice all around. And finally, this is what I was really looking forward to. This right over here, and that's actually why I'm wearing this chain around my neck right over here. This is the thing right here. But I'm gonna get to that in just a second. I'm gonna try to make my coffee actually, you know, drinkable for me. And this of course brings me to the M unit right over here, the meat unit of this. Now you'll notice it says a can opener can be found in the other package. I'll get to that in just a second over here. But this is the main meat of the thing right over here. And let me slide this out. Put that right up there. Now it comes with a small wooden spoon, which is actually the reason I grabbed this, so I could actually stir the coffee and kind of some sugar to, you know, make that palatable. Here's a can of ham chunks, as recommended by everybody on Facebook. And I love you guys, but I hate you guys at the same time. And you'll see that they printed the top of this pretty much the same way that it was printed in World War II. A couple of interesting footnotes. World War II, originally the cans were not green, they were just silver cans. But then they noticed that airplanes flying overhead could see these things from over a mile up. That's when they decided to start spray painting them green, just like this one. Now you also notice that not an easy open can. So how do you open the can? With one of these. Right over here. This little device right over here, the simplest device on the planet. Anybody want to guess? It's called a P38. Sometimes called the John Wayne, but basically it's called the P38. And this is the can opener. Right over here. A very, very simple tool. I actually have one of these hanging on my old dog tags. Now, why is it called a P38? Well, the legend is that you're supposed to be able to open up one of these cans in 38 turns with one of these. I think it's a lot more simple than that, but modern can, we're going to try to see if we can do it in 38 turns. Now, the reason I'm kind of so excited about the P38 over here is that this right over here, this ended up being the biggest multi-tool in World War II. You know, we have Swiss Army knives now. They had this. Let's see, for starters, you could use it to get your Jeep back up and running if there is a faulty connection. A lot of people found out this is a great way that you can clean your rifle. A lot of people found out that it doubled as a really, really nice screwdriver on a couple of sides over here. And if you just needed to clean your nails, you could clean your nails with this. But the way this classically works is you basically put the tool in like this with the knife blade right here sticking right like that, and you give her a push. Oh, come on, work for me. Because you'll also notice that it's hooking right on the bottom there. So that's where you're getting your leverage from. That's one down. Let's see if we can do this in 38. I have never ever done this before with P38, so this ought to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of reenactors and a lot of old dudes who've actually done this who are going to be laughing at me for this. 9. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I got 9. Oh, this is not easy. 30. I'm starting to have my doubts. 31. Okay, that's 38 roughly. Roughly 38. Can I get the can open on 38? That's the goal. Oh, wait. Maybe? Oh, this is so dangerous. I am so going to cut myself on this. Well, no cuts. But I did get it open in 38 shots. It's ugly, but it's open. And that's ham chunks. Okay, there we go. Water drained. And this is why I had the bouillon going, by the way, guys. Tossing this right in there. You'll notice there's a hole in the P38 that fits really nicely on your dog tag chain, ID tag chain. ID tag chain. I hate political correctness sometimes. That's not an accident. A lot of guys would have these things and they would carry them with them pretty much everywhere they would go. Matter of fact, you can tell with the old guys, the old vet guys, because they still have these things sitting on their keychains, they have them sitting on their dog tags, whatever. So if you run into an old vet and they happen to have one of these things, they've been there, they've done that. A couple other things I should mention as well about World War II style of meals like this one. They were actually meant to be prepared out in the field. So if you're going to be doing something like this, bring stuff with you. Now this one does come with a wooden spoon, a very, very tiny wooden spoon. But you need to have pots and pans. Now if I actually had a steel pot helmet, I would consider cooking in that. Just because, you know, that would be a little more authentic. But I don't, so I ain't gonna do it. Just saying. So here we go. Let me take one of these out and I will bring this up to show you guys. It's cooked ham. And very tender cooked ham. Like, fell apart before I started chewing it, tender cooked ham. That's actually pretty good. When the smell hit me out of the can, it really hit me as something else different, but it actually doesn't taste that bad. When I originally contacted the guys at Repro Rations, I asked them how close is this to the original rations from World War II. And they said that they're using modern materials, you know, they're basically buying these things from modern suppliers. So it's not really going to be a lot like World War II, but he did say that any foot soldier in the field would have absolutely loved having this. So what I'm taking that to mean is that what we're doing here is not even a close approximation to what they actually had during World War II. It's going to be kind of close-ish, but not really. If you want to kind of get more of an idea, go to your local supermarket and buy yourself a tin of Spam. Okay, so from here on out, I'm not expecting any real surprises on this. The crackers, which came in the main box that had the P38 in it. Yeah, they look like graham crackers. They feel like graham crackers. You can kind of see that. And they are really soft graham crackers. No, they're not. What flavor is that? That was unexpected. It doesn't. I don't want to say cinnamon because it doesn't taste like cinnamon, but there's something there. It doesn't taste like a normal graham cracker, so I have no idea what the heck they did. So it's probably not a graham cracker at all. There are two other things that came with this. I'm leaving the gum for later because I really want to enjoy that later. But I want to kind of point this out right over here, the charms, because on here, it's a reproduction label. You can see copyright 1940 on that. So let's see. I have no idea what is in here, but I do know this is probably one of the favorite parts of the meal for all these guys. There we go. Oh, I see what they did there. I see what they did there. Okay. So they put the retro label on the outside of an actual product. And the same product too, looks like. Yeah, individually wrapped Charms candy. That's nice. I mean, that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's wrap this one up over here. So let's talk MSRP. The MSRP is kind of steep. I'll be the first one to admit that. You can probably end up going to the store and getting the same food for a lot less. But if you're buying this for the food quality, you're buying it for the wrong reasons. One of the things that I like about Repro Rations is they really go through a lot of effort to reproduce stuff that it makes it look like it came from the World War II era stuff. I mean, just looking at the Charms thing over here. Redoing the packaging, that's amazing stuff to do. And I hear a lot of people going to Ion, going to D-Day and saying, wow, this is as close to the real thing as I'm ever going to get. Well, not really. If you're going there and you're eating these things, you're not really replicating the World War II experience. You really want to get an idea of what these soldiers went through, you gotta kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, suffer in the same way they did. Figuring out how to use a P38, going through the cans, cooking out over an open flame, all these other things are things that they had to do. And this kind of feeds into another rant about the whole D-Day thing, but I'm saving that for another time. But I want to thank you guys for watching this episode. If you like it, comment, subscribe, all that. If you're interested in this stuff, ReproRations.com. I'll have links down there for all the contact information for them. So thank you guys very much, and I'll catch you guys the next time. You know, it just dawned on me today all the extreme guys drink all the Mountain Dew. Back in World War II, they pretty much ran on coffee. Give those guys a lot of respect for that.